Over the years, Tim got a chance to work with a lot of different artists and collaborate in making music. The next person I'm going to talk to is a singer, a songwriter, recording artist that Tim had shared music with and had a chance to get to know. This is Mike Posner.
What up, though, Aloe?
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Good to see you, man.
Great to see you too. I was really impressed by your epic journey across the U.S. I was watching your social media. That was pretty impressive.
Thank you, man. Yeah, for those people who are just tuning in, last year I walked across America from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. It took me 6 months and 3 days and a lot of blisters.
Man, I just don't. I was like, when you were doing it, I was like, why? Why though? Why? And as you kept going, I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel this. I'm really understanding, what you're getting out of it. But I was like, I don't know, the physical part of it was just pretty crazy.
Yeah, the why actually ties into Tim a little bit. Um, the real reason I went on my walk was, I want to be somebody I'm proud of. I want to become somebody I'm proud of. Somebody says who inspires you, or who's your hero, Mike. I want to be able to look them in the eye and say, me. I inspire me. So I gotta do things in my life that are inspiring to me. I can't just think about them or talk about them. I want to go do them, be proud of them. And this walk was something I've been thinking about for like 5, 6 years, man.
Mhm.
And the thing about a walk across America is you really want to start it in the spring and finish it late fall if you can. So you skip winter, basically,
Yeah.
is the strategy behind the thing. And so every spring would roll around, and I always have an album or a tour coming up. I'll say I'll do it next year, and I kept putting the thing off. And then my dad passed away, and then really when Tim passed away, I was like, it just hit me. I was like, man, if I want to do my walk, I gotta do it now. Life is now.
Yeah.
So his death uh, really played a big part of me actually deciding to go on that, man, because I probably just would have kept putting it off if it weren't for that.
Wow. I think his death was a big hit to everybody and made everybody stop and really think about their lives and what's important, and also mental health. Like, what is it that our friends are going through or that we're going through that we're not telling anyone? And you never really know unless you ask, or if you're there and you're trying to be present in someone's life. And I know that you had a relationship with Tim like for years, even before I knew him. So what was the first, moment that you were familiar, that you became aware of Avicii?
I think I'm trying to remember if I had heard his music before, but the first time we connected, definitely he somehow heard my stuff early on in my career, and he reached out to me, and sent me some stuff to write to. And the first thing he sent me was Levels. Um, the track was done, but it didn't have the sample on it yet. And he sent me the song to write a song over it, over the track. And I tried that thing like 3 times, wrote like 3 different songs. So I never really nailed it. So obviously he didn't use my thing, and then he put the
See,
sample on
that's
it. It worked.
crazy to me that you heard Levels, the music to Levels, before he added in the Nina Simone. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling. And I always found it really difficult to write to dance tracks that had the full beat and everything there before, just to write to, because I felt like they somehow, I don't know, maybe it's because the
A
energy
lot
of the
going on already.
beat gets in my way,
Yeah, I
and
feel
all I
like
needed was just a guitar or just a piano or something to write to.
Mhm.
So, and I know you play guitar, so I think, for you, like being able to feel your spot in the track might have required maybe just to bring it down a few levels, no pun intended.
It's also a little intimidating too, because the thing was jamming already, man. I mean, I knew that thing was gonna be big when I heard. I was like, wow, So it's almost like it's a little intimidating to write something that's already on such a high level. For me, I'm like,
I feel you.
it's like I don't know. I don't feel as much freedom, I guess.
I think it's just it's a story. I don't know if anybody really knows that, like what levels was before it was what we ended up hearing it to be, and it could have been a Mike Posner track. That's pretty awesome.
I think it ended up the way it's supposed to. Yeah.
You so when he contacted you the first time, was it him or like a manager or somebody, an email, a phone call?
I think initially it was maybe Ash reached out, and
Mhm.
then I think I do have a really blurry memory, foggy memory of talking to him on the phone, like, and I was in a hotel somewhere on tour and just connecting, and then the thing I loved about Tim was, as the artist career ebbs and flows, and there's ups and downs, um, and the first time I had a down, uh, I didn't know that. I didn't know went up and down. I just thought it's over. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And
Oh,
so I was really in this spot. Like my first single was a song called "Cooler Than Me." This thing
mhm.
was a big hit song over the world.
It's a
It
great
was,
song.
thank you. And I thought, like that's what's gonna happen every time I put a song out. Obviously,
Yep.
it didn't work that way.
Yeah.
And I was I went from touring the world. I think when I met you a few times in Australia, Germany, and then like fast forward 8 months later, like it just stopped.
Yep.
My calendar was empty. There was nothing to do, and it felt like it was just over. And so it was a very strange time in my life. And the thing I always remember was Tim. He never cared about that. He never cared where I was in that ebb and flow, whether I was on high or low. He just liked my songwriting, and so he called me to work, and so he reached out to me. I was in this very, very cold period and kind of
Oh,
weird
wow.
period. Also, I'm in my early 20s, so I think I would have been a bit lost even if I wasn't going through that. And so he invited me to Stockholm to write for his next project. So I flew over there, and like I said, I had nothing to do, man. So I said,
Sure. What year would you say this was around?
this had to be 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And so I go over there and I said, hey, if I'm going all the way to Stockholm, we're gonna work. I think we had 3 days or something in the studio. I was like, I'm gonna hang out, in Europe. And then I looked, I seen he had a show and he had a gig in Ibiza after that. So I went over to work and we wrote a few days. And then I started inviting myself to his gig
Sure.
in Ibiza. I was like, hey man, can I come? He was like, yeah, we'll take care of you. So then I flew to Ibiza. I got there but a day before him. I was just alone. It's weird. It's like being alone in
Right.
Vegas. It's weird, man. It was like,
Because Ibiza's there's so much going on. There's a lot of people there, a lot of parties going on,
yeah,
and
bro.
you don't have a posse. Yeah, you're definitely kind of
It was
somewhere with the
weird.
sharks.
It was weird. And so fine, he get there the next day, and he had this big show. So I was in the crowd, and this is when I still drink. I don't drink anymore, but he played the song we wrote in the studio before, and I thought, oh, this is cool, man. My voice come through the big speakers, um, but I was really pretty darn sad watching them, and I was pretty darn envious as well.
Mm,
I wanted to be
because you wanted to have that moment
I wanted to be
again,
on
that
the
those
stage,
moments of being on
man.
stage. Yeah.
And so I remember walking around, like wandering around in the audience, and these guys recognized me. Hey, you Mike Posner? I was like, yeah, and I thought kind of felt good. Somebody recognized me in a weird, perverted way, and they were like, hey, do you want one of these? And they held this plastic baggie of pills. I made a horrible decision and took this pill. And this is the line from this song.
From the song, yeah.
I took a pill in Ibiza to show Avicii I was cool. And then later, I didn't write that song like 3 years later. You know,
Right.
I had some context of what that night meant in my life. And he was like the first person I played it to. I played in that song and another song I was writing called "Buried in Detroit," and I was really terrified at the time because before I had done all hip hop music, I had done some pop music, dance music, and now I was writing these really like folk songs.
Exactly.
And I thought, man, like my fans are gonna hate this. Like it's over for me. I was thinking about changing my name and stuff, my stage name, and I played Tim those songs. And he was like, I remember he said these are the best songs you ever wrote, man. He's like, I always
Wow.
liked your stuff, but these are the best ones. And that felt, um, I think that really like gave me some confidence too to just
As it should. I mean, like, you respect him and you know he's not gonna lie to you, like, he didn't lie in the studio. No, if he
yeah,
didn't like something, then that's it. So, for him to tell you that, of course, it's gonna give you some confidence, but to have him even kinda co-signing that lyric, you know what I'm saying? Like,
mm.
he could have been like, "Ah, nah, don't put that out. It makes me
He
look
wanted it. He wanted
makes
to
me
work
look like
on it.
I'm" Yeah,
He wanted to work on it, but like for me, I had to put that song out just me and my guitar, and then later somebody else remixed it and did it. But
yeah.
he was like, I would like to do that for my album. Um, well, I said no because I had to put that song out for me. Um,
Wow.
so it was just I actually I've probably done like 10 songs with Tim that I just got on the laptop, and I only think I only think I have one that came out with him, and
Yeah,
it's one
there's
that I didn't really do that much on. Like I did a few lyrics, somebody else did all the melodies and stuff. All the ones I really loved, the most of them never came out. He never used any of them.
that happened with me on some tracks, but, it sounds like the way that he was working at times was just puzzle piecing things together, and, those parts that you had created songs that you had created before might end up becoming a part of another song,
Yeah,
to finish another song, another inspiration to start another song, um, and yeah, it was an interesting kind of method of putting together pieces of tracks from other parts, of songs that may have been finished or may not have been finished. Um, that
did
was
you
the
cut
way
a
that
lot of vocals with him?
I did a song called "Liar Liar," a song called "Free," a song called um, "Please Forgive Me," and then "Wake Me Up." Black and Blue. So Black and Blue never came out officially. Free never came out officially. Um, and Please Forgive Me never came out. And then you heard Wake Me Up and Liar Liar were on
Mhm.
the album. And then SOS I didn't write, but it was a Frankenstein piece, like two separate songs that got put together. He took a drop from one thing and added it to something else.
Yeah. He used to drive me nuts when I was in the booth, man. I don't know
Well,
about you.
so
He'd be like,
so
"What if you
I
did da da?" And I do da da. And he's like, "What if you did da da?" I'm like,
okay, my
"God, make
so
up your mind,
I'll
bro."
tell you what, I'll tell you what. I'd never really been that particular with my vocal production,
Hmm.
and I'm not the perfectionist. I need a producer there to do it, so I appreciated it. It was super intense, and what was helpful actually was that my keyboard player, Peter Dyer, at the time, he was there at the session. So when my melodic ear and my melodic memory is shot. And I also have an issue with half tones, half notes. So not half notes. I'm sorry, um, semitones.
Hmm.
So if he would have done that, I would have been like, "That's the same note." So I needed Peter on the keyboard to be like, "No." This is the black key, this is the white key. They're
Mhm.
2 different notes. Figure that out and do what Tim said. And then we recorded and we actually ended up getting some really good runs because of
Oh,
it, because
yeah.
he pushed through it.
Yeah,
You know,
you
I think those runs on Wake Me Up are pretty, iconic.
jamming.
Yeah.
They sound great.
Man,
Yeah, that's
he helped
great.
work it out.
Remember, I forgot this about Tim, but when I first met Tim, he could not sing a note. So like he would hear this thing in his head and be like, "Hey, I want you to sing this," but he literally could not like he would, you but he couldn't go. Duh, he couldn't do that. He was like tone. He was not. I want to say tone deaf because he could play it for you on the keys and be like, "Sing
He
this."
just couldn't produce it.
He literally couldn't make the note come out of his mouth. And we would have these gaps. I wouldn't work on him for 2, 3 years, so maybe 4 years, and then a few years later, he could start to sing. Not like he wasn't singing his songs, but he
But
could
now he
sing
could
the note.
communicate.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, he's getting better. He was getting better at keys too. Um, so that was pretty cool, man. To just see that progression too
I mean,
in his
it is
musicality.
cool. Like, I see videos of him learning guitar, learning piano, and playing, and I didn't experience that with him when we were making music, so I was really impressed that he started to push himself to learn the instruments. I think he was really impressed by all of the folks that he worked with that had the facility over the instruments, and he was just trying to make himself a better person and a better musician as well.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. I think he felt. I don't think he ever liked. I'm actually pretty sure he never liked performing at all.
Well, he didn't. Like, I would ask him, "Yo, we have this hit. There's so many TV opportunities coming to promote the song." Not that the song needed a TV promotional moment, but it's just a way to tell the history. Like, we did this, and here we are. And he never wanted to do TV.
I remember a conversation we had where he was talking about learning piano. Maybe he was asking me because I learned piano as an adult too. Maybe he was asking for a teacher or something recommendation, and his impetus for wanting to learn was he didn't like this idea of just being up there for a performance and hit and play and doing. He didn't like that. Felt I don't think it was weird to him. Like he didn't feel like he was playing or performing really. So I remember him saying like, I want to play. If I do that, I want to be able to play stuff
Oh,
live.
wow.
And um, and I also remember a prior conversation that time was in Stockholm where he was just said, man, like I never the whole like artist part of this, I never really
You didn't
wanted or
you didn't sign up for
understood.
it.
Yeah, this he was like, I just wanted to make beat. He was like really like it's almost like if Jay Dilla would have became a huge artist, but
Oh, yeah.
wasn't really his role. Like he
True.
was always just making other,
Great.
you know what I'm saying?
That's a great analogy.
But for
Yeah.
whatever reason, the tone of the culture, we had these DJs that are artists as well, and became a thing right when he was like doing his stuff. And his beats were just incredible, as you know, and it's like he just became something that he didn't sign up for.
Yeah. I think, the kind of lifestyle that Tim ended up leading because of the success of the music, because the demand was so high, because you could do it, and why would you say no kind of thing, that really took a toll. But, he was able to escape it and, like, quit the tour life and just get solid for a little bit, which is great. So, I'm glad that he found that peace, I think, even before he passed away.
Mm. Thing's so confusing to me is like I went over his house, maybe 3 weeks before he died,
Mhm.
and he seemed like normal to me.
Guaranteed, right? Like, I
Yeah,
was communicating before the documentary came out, and just felt like he was at 100%, you know?
But how could we
So,
get that so wrong?
well, maybe we weren't wrong, dog. I mean, I just feel like you never know what triggers there are, and anything could have happened in within a 24-hour span,
That's true.
you know? Because honestly, like, for him, everybody around feels exactly the way you felt and I feel about those last moments, the last, month or so that we were in communication.
Mhm.
So, I just feel like he gave us the best of him, and we have that to carry on his legacy for time and eternity. And for every April 20th that I can, you know, continue to carry this tribute on or pass it to other folks that want to help to carry on the tribute, I think we just got to remember him and share the music.
Yeah.
Bro, I thank you for joining me and telling your story and your memories of Tim. Appreciate you.
Come on, I appreciate you and all the work you do too as well, man. You incredible artist. So it's cool to talk to you and remember our buddy. Thanks,
Right
man.
on. Thank you.
Cool.